Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick kind of download on our shadowing program, what it is, what it isn't, how valuable it is, how unique it really is, and just spend a couple of minutes kind of setting some expectations for everybody involved. Okay. So, first, look, you can sit in a classroom setting, you can role play, you can do a lot of things, but until you've truly had the opportunity to see some of our top producing agents in person, and see how they interact and engage with their clients, it's all abstract and it makes it really tough for you to kind of model your behaviors. Again, it's one thing for you and I to role play. It's a whole nother thing to see an agent in the wild of sorts doing what they do best, and that's getting individuals to like and trust them. And so our shadowing program, I think, honestly, is hands down the absolute best thing that I've ever been able to be a part of. What it does, it allows you not just to have a mentor, but to have 30 or more. It allows you the opportunity to see several agents do what they do best, and that's get clients to like and trust them. And again, that takes a lot of effort. It's all performance art of sorts, right? Because honestly, I have a very brief period of time to help encourage and engage someone to a point where they like and trust me, because that's ultimately when people want to work with you, right? So um, all starts with kind of how that program is set up and how it works. The best agents, the absolute best agents in the world, they all want to get back. I think a lot of us take a lot of pride in what we do and what we've been able to accomplish. And I think the best agents do their best to give back to newer agents, specifically the ones that they identify as individuals that want to work and want to do what it takes to find the success they're looking for. Now, the problem with that is the top agents. Well, they have their families and their own schedule. They have their clients and their schedule, and they're so dependent on so many different individuals, and so it makes it really tough for that agent, that top producing agent, to go out of their way and think, you know what, that new guy that walked in a couple of days ago into the office, I like him. Let me see what he's doing at 4 o'clock tomorrow, right? It just doesn't happen. And it's not to say they aren't willing to give back. It's not to say they don't want to give back, but it becomes really tough. And those opportunities were just almost slim to none of those times where we had enough headspace and enough heads up and enough everything to be able to go out of our way to say, hey, you know, new agent, what are you doing tomorrow at 4 o'clock? And so what we've done is we put a program in place that scrapes our top agents' calendars. Okay, right now we have several in this program, and this program will scrape their calendar anytime that they have a showing or an inspection or a closing, and then it'll post in Slack an opportunity for you to be able to pick up and shadow that agent for the closing, the showing, the first time client meeting, whatever it is that you need to do in order to better yourself and in order to spend a little time with some of our top producing agents. I think honestly, it's one thing, and for those of you that have had some success in real estate before, you might not need to shadow a closing. You might not need to go to another inspection, but what you really need is an opportunity to spend a little time with some of our top producing agents. I think the best agents that come over to us at Dash are the ones that take the time and opportunity to fully understand and digest our systems. And you can only do that when you see them put to use out in the wild. And so I think, again, shadowing is paramount to being able to bring the Dash way into your business. You're here for a reason, right? You joined us and you joined our team and you joined for a reason. Now, each one of your reasons is very different and very separate, but I think at the end of the day, we can all agree that, having the opportunity to work alongside or to see those top agents doing their thing is invaluable. So the shadowing program was put in place. And again, what we have it set up as is it'll scrape our top agent's calendar, it'll create a calendar invite, and it'll go out in Slack. When you claim that, that is your shadowing. Okay, it will be added to your calendar. You should say yes to the shadowing, and then you should text the agent just to let them know, hey Sam, I'm going to be shadowing you tomorrow at 4 o'clock at 123 Main Street. Put it on their radar too, so they have the expectation that you're going to be there. Okay, it's just a common courtesy that we feel like goes a really long way when setting expectations there. Now, if things change, that agent may or may not remember, oh man, that new agent texted me and they said they're going to be there. I think oftentimes once you send that intro text and you say, hey, I'm going to be shadowing you, they're going to remember if things move around. But honestly, we live our world by our calendars. And so we're going to move our calendar invite as appropriate or cancel the calendar invite as appropriate. Okay. And so if for some reason that house goes under contract or that client becomes ill, we're probably just going to go ahead and move the calendar invite and or cancel it altogether. And that's how you'll get notification of whether or not you should show up at 4 o'clock at 123 Main Street tomorrow. So it all works seamlessly in the background, and it really gives everybody ample opportunity to find shadowings that make sense, that are closer to home, or that are with the agents you wanted to shadow, or maybe the particular thing you're trying to shadow: a first-time client meeting, a showing, a listing presentation, a closing, an inspection, whatever it is that you feel like would add a lot of value to you. So I will say this: occasionally you're going to have that agent reach out to you and say, hey, this one isn't a good one. And please don't give them a hard time about that. It's up to this agent to get the like and trust out of their clients. And those agents generally know best what may make sense. There are some people that are very conscious of who's around and who's there. Maybe they have elderly individuals and they don't want anybody sick being around. Maybe our top agent is still doing their best to earn the trust of this individuals and feels like having an extra person there might muddy the water some. And so your gut would tell you, well, wait, why'd you post it in Slack? But again, that's why I kind of walk through the process and the fact that we do that for them. And it's in order to give you the most opportunities to shadow any sort of item you can. Okay. So second things. So shadowings are not an opportunity for you to show our top agents how good you are. They're just not. You'll have time and space to be able to say, hey, I'm a great agent and I'm going to show you how and why. But truly, a shadowing is an opportunity for you to be a fly on the wall. Okay. It's not for you to come and point out issues with the house. It's not for you to try and build like and trust with that client. I mean, ultimately, it's our agent's job, that agent's job, to build like and trust and to be able to move that individual client down the sales funnel and hopefully help them buy or sell a house one day. Right. And so I think it's very important to understand that you're not adding value by trying to point things out or trying to show off what you've learned while at Dash so far. I think, honestly, the best response quite often when somebody asks you something is, you know what, that's a really great question. Why don't we get agent involved and make sure that they give you kind of their thoughts and sentiments on what that might be or what the next best answer would be in this situation. Okay. When we talk shadowing, the goal is to be a fly on the wall, to shadow, to listen, to learn. And honestly, on either end of that time together, you should feel very open and comfortable asking that agent questions. Hey, can you tell me a little bit more about this client? Can you tell me a little bit more about how you scheduled this showing or why we're out here seeing this property today? Can you tell me a little bit more about their home search? So you can start to really get in the mindset of a top producing agent. And or afterwards, I think it's very appropriate for you to say, hey, you got a couple of minutes afterwards? I'd love to ask you a couple more questions. Or, hey, this was great. I really appreciate your time. Could I follow up with a phone call later this afternoon? Or will you be in the office tomorrow that I could spend a little time with you? The goal is for you to be able to engage with some of our top producing agents. You should walk out of there with a relationship in place where you feel comfortable and confident reaching out to that person and saying, hey, you did something great and I'd love to know more about it. And so again, this program, we look for all of our agents to fully leverage, and you can leverage it honestly for as long as you want to. I have plenty of agents a year into their time here that decide, man, I'm having a really tough time getting a second date. Cool. Go shadow somebody on their first dates, right? Go see how they're able to win the like and trust of someone in a short period of time and get that second date scheduled, right? There's nothing that says that because you've sold a couple of houses that all of a sudden you're out of the program. The hope and goal would be one day that all of you are in the program as someone that's being shadowed, right? And so that's everything we push for and everything we hope for. So again, that's the shadowing program kind of outline. I do want to make one more very important point. The agents that are being shadowed, okay, and this is unlike any shadowing or mentorship program out there, we do not compensate them for their time or for what they're doing in any way, shape, or form. We don't. Okay. We just have great agents who want to give back, who want to make Dash better, who want to help the new agents find the success that they were able to find. Right. I mean, ultimately, our goal is for all of you to be that agent one day that's giving back to the newer agents in the building. But just understand that, look, we don't pay them. We don't compensate them. They don't get a piece of anything you're doing. They do this because they care about dash and care about the individuals who are representing us and our brand and giving you everything you possibly can to be successful, right? And so, again, keep in mind, fly on the wall mentality, um, be on time, be courteous, be dressed appropriately. You are a representation of both yourself and Dash. And so, if you come to a shadowing with me in jean shorts and some flip flops, I'm turning your ass around, and I will do it in front of my clients. And that will only make you look bad, but it will also make me look bad, I guess, too. So keep that in mind as you are a representation of me, the agent being shadowed, as well as yourself and as well as Dash and whatever you're doing. Be on time, be polite, be courteous, be friendly with the clients. I'm not saying don't talk to them. I'm just saying keep in mind the fact that this agent, who we're not compensating anything for, who is a 1099 contractor who only eats what they kill, is basing their livelihood and the food on their tables on whether or not they're able to build like and trust with this client at this meeting, right? And so just keep that in mind as you're out shadowing the top agents. Ensure that you're seeing, hearing what they're having to say. I think ultimately, as you know, you need to find your own voice. If you said the same things I said out of your mouth, it wouldn't sound natural, it wouldn't sound normal, and you just wouldn't get the like and trust you're looking for. But if you're able to take a little bit of me and a little bit of the different agents you shadow as you go along, next thing you know, you've found your voice that really resonates with people, and you're going to win that much more often. So that's all I got on shadowing. It's a great program. Please lean into it, and don't ever look at it as I have to check a box. It's a unique opportunity that I get to check this box to go out and see some top agents doing what they do best. All right. Thanks, guys.